All right. So good morning, everyone. It's almost the end of September. It's the 29th of September, Thursday. We're doing today's stand-up. First of all, any announcements from the team? No announcements. Okay, no announcements from my side either. Rather a smaller group today. Not sure what's behind that, but nice to see everyone's here. We have a hot seat session with Nahom, Habtu Michael. So I'm not going to monopolize the entire stand-up. So let's jump straight in with a regular stand-up format. Would love to hear what's been achieved, what you're going to work on today, any blockers, and if you have a few words to talk about your affect, how you're feeling, your level of optimism, would love to hear that as well. So let's go through quickly, aiming for 1 minute per person. So who's going to go first? Okay, not now?
Okay, good morning. The past 3 days were somehow good. I've learned a lot about blockchain and also the Algorand. The main blocker, like yesterday, where in my area there was an internet blackout for about 3 hours. There were no phones, no internet, not even like the toll-free phone numbers wouldn't work either, and there was total blackout, and that was somehow a huge blocker. But after it came, I managed to submit all the tasks and also write a report. And today I'm gonna work on the creating asset and minting. Thank you.
Okay, and how's your optimism?
It's pretty good, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
Okay, Adijat?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday was more of me trying to find out, trying to relate what I've done to the document, to the writing report on it. And there are some things that I really don't understand. Then I have to go and get some research about them so that I can understand
Things you
them.
don't understand in terms of background and technology or implementation?
Implementation,
Okay.
especially Flask, implementing Flask with Algorand.
Mhm.
So that I have to do, and the
Have
blocker
you
I
have you reached out for help? Because it's not really part of what we're teaching. It just happens to be there. Have you reached out for help?
have, yes, I have reached out for help before now. So I only I choose the link sent to me by Tibrek some days ago. So I think that helps. I wanna know. But for now, so it's good for now.
But I mean, the link is fine, but have you tried to get someone on the phone and sort of ask, can you walk through this with me, or how does Flask work? Because I think we have some people who are very experienced with web. I'd say I'd call this Web 2.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I would encourage you to do that because I think learning Flask in a week and how to integrate that is pretty hard. But I think what partnering with somebody here is maybe an easier way to go. So I would encourage you to do that.
All right, I'll try that in the coming days.
Or today. I mean, it's already it's already Thursday. I
Yeah.
think sometimes we have a habit of like using these generalities, like I'll get to it or I'll think about it, but you you only have 48 hours left. So I don't know which coming days you mean. Try coming minutes.
Okay. Yes, I will. I will
How are
do
you
that.
feeling about Web3?
I think it's good. But I'm not sure about the sanctions and sanctions that is going on and government clamping down, trying to clamp it down. So I think that will hinder some progress, but it's inevitable though.
I would encourage you not cryptocurrency is one form of Web3. So I think there may be some regulation which is coming up around cryptocurrency, but I don't think Web3 as a technology is necessarily under sanction.
Yeah. Blockchain itself.
Well, I think Web3 and blockchain, one could think of them interchangeably, but it's cryptocurrency use of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other sorts of currencies may be more under sanction. But I haven't heard of any governments who are regulating the idea of blockchain technology.
Yeah.
I think one analogy to that is, in Web2, there are laws against hate speech or what sort of content you can put up, but it doesn't mean that governments are cracking down on the internet.
Okay. We'll see how that goes with implementing it with other part of our aspects of life that is not, that doesn't have to do with fintech.
Yeah, but there are, and I think this is part of what everyone here should be trying to explore. Fintech is one use case. NFTs are another use case. Smart contracts are another use case. DAOs are another use case. But the underlying technology is similar. So currency, Web3 is not only currency. It's not only Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how's your use? We already talked about your optimism. Okay, let's go to Fiseha.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Very well, yeah. How are you today?
I'm very fine, thank you. I seem to have a nice understanding on the whole blockchain concept, because I really think it's a really nice way of going forward in this world. The whole content moderation and ownership and the whole blockchain thing. I think I'm really getting it. And so for the blockers, I am actually on Adijat's side, because I don't yet have any blockers regarding the actual project of this week regarding the blockchain. Regarding the Algorand blockchain network and making transactions and creating assets. I almost did that perfectly well, considering the using the tutorials you guys provided. Thanks for that. But when it comes to connecting that and displaying it for an end user using front end and back end environment, I'm actually having troubles. But I don't think that's a big deal, because there are lots and lots of materials out there. And so that would be my status. And I did the interim report and the GitHub submission for the interim report really on time, at least this time. So that's all. And I think it's really nice. I think this week's task is really nice. It gave me a glimpse of where the current technology is going, because we tend to be caught up in our lives and not think about where the world is going. But now I see how this thing can affect the whole world economy, and not only economy, but how we interact in our day-to-day life. So it's actually a very great project to have. So that would be all. Thank you.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks. Emtinan?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I spent yesterday, partly writing the report. So I read several things that I learned new. Honestly, before this week, I was my knowledge about Web3 was constrained to cryptocurrencies. So I was a bit skeptical about the whole thing. But yesterday, there was some interesting reading about all of this thing about it's all about control and the power of giving the control to users. Anyway, the blockers I had or I still have is how as the front end and back end development work together, because I really don't understand how this should work. I don't know how I should organize my code, and so I also have an issue with GitHub, which I will ask about on Slack because I don't know how to solve it. Yeah, I have several things that I'm struggling with. So.
Yeah, no, but it's so if we have a common issue and we recognize that this week's challenge is probably more web development heavy. So I would like to ask each of you who have spoken so far, who are struggling on the front end, back end side, to reach out to the tutors and just be very clear that we're struggling here. Could Yedidia, Azaria, Nardos, Anastasia hold an open Q&A session and walk us through that? Because I know that at least, I think all four of them, but at least the majority of them are experienced web developers. And so that's why they're there, right? Get them on, ask them to hold a special tutorial to help with that, because we're not here to teach you React, but what we do want is that by the end of this week, you have something which you can demonstrate at least reasonably well. So this is part of the experience that you're going to need to develop when you enter the world of work. There's a balance between suffering in silence and reaching out for help. And if you know that your colleague has already done this before, there's no point in simply suffering in silence. It's probably much more efficient to reach out and say, hey, can I borrow half an hour of your time? And in this case, you have the advantage of there's a whole class plus there's tutors. So I think everyone has suffered in silence enough. Please reach out on Slack and ask them to schedule a tutorial today, like as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's keep going around the room, guys. We want to hear from as many as possible. We'll finish up at 10:30 and go over to the hot seat. But even if it's a very boring update, I want everyone to practice speaking, because we're not here just to get an update. We're here to practice speaking. When you start working, you're going to have to provide these sorts of updates. And often the updates may be kind of boring, not much happened, just doing my work, but still you should be providing that update. So let's go around the room, please. Otherwise I'm going to call on people. So I'm going to call on Patrick Rubaita.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I can't come late, so can you please tell me what we have to talk about?
Regular stand-up stuff, Patrick. So what have you gotten done? What are you working on today? Any blockers? And if you want to say a few words on how your level of optimism, that would also be appreciated.
Okay,
the usual
okay.
stand-up
So,
stuff. So, I mean, in general, when you attend a stand-up, that's the standard question.
Okay. So yesterday I managed to submit everything on time, but the broker came on installing Sandbox. Took me so much of my time, but I managed to install it and worked on it, and I received the help from fellow students. I mean, fellow. I don't know if I can call as a student, but
No,
yeah.
trainees.
So,
we don't have any students here. Actually, the
yes,
price for using student is you have to tell a joke. So I'm going to call on you at 10:30 to tell the joke because you used a illegal word.
I'm sorry, but yeah,
Okay.
trainees. So, today in the morning, I tried to fix some of my backend errors. Still working on it. I'm hoping by Friday everything will be submitted.
You don't sound very optimistic, Patrick. You sound like you're being crushed by an elephant.
Nah, but it's because I was ready to sleep, so I was kind of woke up in 30 minutes.
When did you go to sleep?
It was like I don't know, maybe 1.
Okay. And don't forget, sleep is important. Your grandmother and mother are right. Sleep is more important than coding. You have enough time to work. Don't forget to sleep.
Yes, I
Uh,
will.
okay, great. Fiseha, you have something to add?
Just a quick question. Why the whole I'm not imagine I'm not saying it. The word student is not allowed in this platform.
Because we're not teaching anyone anything.
I'm sorry?
We're
I
not
didn't get that.
teaching anyone anything.
That's a rather short answer. I was okay, but I was
But that's it.
I
I mean,
was actually hoping for more explanation because I thought I was learning something here. Sorry if I'm wrong.
that's a fortunate byproduct. We're not, for us, the teaching student teacher approach is different than you joining. Everyone here is joining a team, and it's rather people with a little bit less experience and people with a little bit more experience. So when you work, nobody hires a student. You get hired as a junior person, and it's understood that, okay, your team lead has a little bit more experience, and you learn by doing. You don't learn theory. So all we're doing is curating what you should be learning and providing you with a little bit of support. But so for us, that's training. It's not students or teachers.
Okay, that was exactly what kind of explanation I was looking for. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Mohammed?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you are doing all well.
Yeah.
So
There's
the
somebody
update
else with
from
the
my
same
side-
name who's already logged in. You're logged in twice.
Yes, I'm logging with my laptop and my phone because the laptop sound is very poor. So
You want double participation points. You're gonna ruin every system.
So the update from my side, I actually didn't do much in the technical side because I'm facing. Um, I spent the first 2 days initializing and starting Linux because I switched totally to Linux, and then
Is it scary? Is it, or how is it?
uh, basically, I was afraid from losing my files and documents because I have important files. But overall, the experience is good. And yes, I upgraded my hardware to be 8 gigabyte of RAM. So basically, I'm investing in my hardware so I could work easily and be productive because the last week one of the basic barriers for me was the hardware and the Windows operation system. So I chose to switch totally and take the risk to Linux operation system.
Yep.
Actually, I have been introduced to Web3 before 10 Academy. Basically, the last week of the course, it actually wasn't a course, it was a seminar by an organization called Chain Code. Is if I pronounce that right. It basically uh, based on the Bitcoin development, Bitcoin protocol development, and I have been introduced to a lot of terms and topics used in the blockchain and Web3. So I have a basic understanding about what's going in Web3 and what is the technologies used. So this week seems in terms of new topics and terms a bit easy for me, but I faced from the technical side, as I said before, and I didn't initialize the sandbox because I faced also some problems, but I managed to submit all the documents. Overall, one of the barriers, I have some family issues that you could say affect me so hard, and I hope to do my best in the next weeks.
Very good. Thanks, Mom. Hopefully your family issues resolved. I have a follow-up question for you. So in contrast to most people when they're behind, most people get nervous. You seem rather relaxed. Why is that?
Uh, it actually, I'm very nervous, by the way, but I could control my nerve uh, since week when I have been late for most of the topics and most of the submissions. But the idea behind what I'm doing is I'm learning new stuffs, and the point is not to deliver the tasks. The point is to have a well understanding about the tools and the topics that you are learning. So that that basically not calm my nerve. And for this week, I think the my family issues is more harder than being late. So I'm a bit struggling, but I could keep my nerve down.
Excellent. No, very good. Your tone of voice seems optimistic and you seem strong, so I think that's the right attitude to take. Yeah. Okay, I still want to go through 5 people before we go to the hot seat. So put your hands up, please. Let's get 5 more people, and then we have a joke from Patrick, and then we have Nahom on the hot seat. So I'm just going to start calling on people then. So we're going to take Johans, Wangui, Jane Rose, Tagisti, and Neil Mukiza. So we'll take all the ladies after Johans. Johans, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, the last 3 days were challenging and also good, actually. It's just, I'm gonna give them half-half. So I was struggling with setting up my sandbox. Actually, I have asked a lot of help, and finally it has worked, and I'm glad about that. And I was worried it would possibly take my time before writing the report. So it worked fine, and then I managed to submit both my GitHub setup and report. So yesterday, my end was very nice. So today I'm planning to work on the backend and front-end setup as well. I've already started it, but just like the others, I'm a little bit don't have any idea about the web tool, so I will ask those who do have the experience, and hopefully we do have a tutorial also today, so I'm waiting for that. I'm kind of reading on startup for React. That's my plan for today, and my optimism is good, I would say. Thank
Great.
you.
Okay, Wangui.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well, yeah.
Okay. For this week, I got a bit of a late start. On Monday and Tuesday, I was trying to set up my environment, Linux, and I think it was done wrong on Monday, so I had to go back on Tuesday to get it finished, reset. So yesterday, I managed to get the sandbox up and running, and I wrote a report on the Web3 and the technology stack and how blockchain works, the NFTs, and a smart contract.
That sounds exciting.
I learned a lot. So what I'm having an issue with at this point in time is how to get the screenshots from DAppFlow, as I guess how to use the API endpoints, because I'm not sure what to put in as the input, because it's not like the other API endpoints I've used. It's like So I think I'll ask on Slack about that, and then also for the front end, back end development. I think also for that I'll reach out for some help with that. I think I have some dummy data as per the task. But I just have one page, and I know that's not enough. But yeah, I'm hoping to get, okay, so for going forward.
It's already good that you know which questions you're asking, right? That's already a step ahead. So good, just ask the questions. Anyone here who can help on GUI on the API endpoints, please reach out to her as well. But it sounds actually quite positive.
I'm hoping so, because I feel like I missed out on 2 whole days. Like, this is just the second day of development on this week's challenge. So yeah, I'm hoping to make a lot of progress.
But remember, you're not falling off the face of the earth in the middle of November. You can always come back to this, right? We're not like, it's your knowledge, and you can go back and learn, you can practice, you can do all of it yourself. So don't stress. You can manage it, you can manage it, you can manage it. Just keep going.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, who's next? I forgot the order that I had mentioned. I think we had Tugisti to come, Jane Rose to come. Who else do we ask for? So yeah, Jane Rose, why don't you go ahead?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I've been able to complete my submission for yesterday, and well, today I'll mostly work on the careers task.
Okay.
Right now, I'm facing a small blocker with Ubuntu. It's my 3rd day, I think, or 2nd day. It's refusing to boot into the OS, and I think it's because of my memory. So that's what I'm searching online for. I'll ask on Slack for any Ubuntu experts to reach out.
Yeah, it sounds like Mohammed just got his running, so maybe he's a good person to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. Tugisti, do you want to go ahead?
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. Sorry.
We can hear you and we can see you.
Sorry.
No, it's good to have the video on, but okay, go ahead. Let's go ahead with your update, please.
Okay. The last 2-3 days was not good for me. I was so boring on that days. Firstly, I have some issue in personal case, and plus to that, when I tried to shift my operating system from Windows to Ubuntu, it totally crashed my PC. So I was very emotional and was boring. Then lastly, I was trying to fix the crashes and the personal cases, and I managed it. So yesterday I was able to write my reports and my GitHub submissions on my tablets. So today I fixed the PC configuration. Hopefully I will do the Web3 projects for the final submission, but not complete my interim reports. So
Yep. Okay.
and,
That sounds good.
like sorry.
No, I said that sounds good, and I appreciate the update. It's a clear update. So keep making progress as far as you can. I think on the Ubuntu side and the personal side, the Ubuntu side you can ask for help from the community. The personal side, I guess you have to go pray. But I don't know what to suggest other than that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who else was on the list? Who was going to speak? Margaret, do you want to give us an update? Neo Mukiza?
Yes, I was on the list, the last one to speak.
Okay.
So yesterday, I managed to submit the interim report on GitHub, but the whole day I was trying to fix the way I can send I can do the first transaction. I was doing it wrong. At the end of the day, someone helped me, and I managed to do first transaction. And yeah, today I'm planning to work on the back end and the front end. It's kind of new to me, so I will try to contact someone to help me work and get something from that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone else want to give an update? Any updates? No? Okay, so Patrick, joke from you, and then we'll go to Nahom on the hot seat. And while we're doing that, team, any updates, any announcements?
Yeah, thanks. So I have one announcement just in case if you have not signed up for tomorrow's one-on-one yet have received invitation, please do so. So we have one-on-one tomorrow for people who have already sent the invitations to. So if you are the one probably who have not taken the slot, please do so by the end of today.
Thanks. Patrick, we need a joke.
I don't know if I have a joke right now, but maybe let's do it tomorrow.
No, I gave you 15 minutes notice.
I didn't get it.
But come on, tell us one joke. You must have a joke that you would tell. What would you tell if you had a nephew or a niece or a cousin who was younger than you? What's a joke you would tell them?
It's kind of surprising to me. I don't know how, but maybe the next time I'll be ready for the joke.
You don't have one joke. Patrick, how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 26.
And no one's ever told you a joke in your life? Okay, does somebody want to help Patrick out and tell a joke on his behalf?
I don't know, maybe Fish can help me.
Can somebody help him out, please? All right, Wangui, go ahead.
So the joke I have is very old, but what do a dog and a guest have in common?
I don't know. What do they have in common?
They both
I
can't
don't
wait
know
to
what.
leave the house. I should have waited.
They both what?
Go ahead, Pisaha.
No. Actually, I just want to say I know that one. Just go ahead.
Oh.
You I think.
So they both can't wait to get out of the house.
Okay. But you know what's very interesting is yesterday's community building session was jokes. So Patrick, you could have just gone to the Slack channel and read one joke from there. So yeah, I mean, there are resources that are out there. It doesn't have to be super fancy. So, okay. So Patrick, you owe us a joke, or you owe Wangui a joke. Thanks for jumping in. Okay, so why don't we stop recording and get Nahom on the hot seat.
So Wangui, in the meantime,